whatever, maybe I'm not the person.
It's exotic.
I'm going to start going around town and speaking about this. Am I the person for that?
You can just start renting out like conference rooms in
Brothers and
hotels.
sisters, what is with all these first-generation African ladies dominating Hollywood?
We did not land on Viacom. Viacom landed on us.
Remember Black Americans.
Remember Black Americans. Wow, crazy Black Americans.
It's rare. It's rare to see who's the last person they gave it up to? Monique?
Yeah.
For Precious?
I don't even think they gave it up to her.
Did they even give it up to her?
No.
Like
I said, we've said it before on the podcast, but there's like every year there's like one, like stinky guy. They go, here you go, and then go away. Never again.
This is why you need like a savant white guy or like a really good Jew behind these things. Like if you put Nathan Fielder in charge of the new True Detective, now we're cooking with gas. We're really cooking with gas. Nathan Fielder trying to convince a guy to become to run a sex trafficking ring in Louisiana. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be incredibly interesting. He already kind of seems like he does that.
Nathan for you, detective.
Yeah.
He probably already does that for fun.
Yeah. I can't tell if he's brilliant or just genuinely that weird, and it looks like amazing art.
Yeah.
I've been around him. I used to work on Nathan for You. I was a PA.
I know a lot of people that have worked on sets with him, and they go, yeah, he's great, but I never want to speak to him again or be around him ever.
Oh, he's
just
just
the most uncomfortable weirdo I've ever.
Just like pure autism.
It gives you nothing.
Yeah.
He always made me laugh, and one time I was driving them around in a van, and it was Nathan and all of his writers, and Nathan goes, where are we? And I go, oh, we're in Studio City. And he goes, huh, more like Studio Shitty. And no one laughed. There were 10 people in the van, and they all looked up from their it's the shitty LA, they have the glasses and the hat, and they look up from their phone. They're like, what? I make $8,000 a day.
Yeah.
And they just look back down at their phone and they be shitty.
I do kind of love that. Like you're doing dice clay for yourself for no reason is kind of fun.
I like it a lot. The Curse is pretty unique and brilliant.
No, Nathan's great.
Yeah,
he's great.
The Curse I thought was very good as well. Yeah. I very much enjoyed that. Yeah.
One time I was working on this Scientology set for the Leah Remini show, and I remember one of the producers was like this guy that he was always a guy. He looked like who's that bald guy who's in a lot of movies? He's fucking
Bruce Willis?
No, fuck. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name.
What movie is he
He's
in?
glasses and bald, and he's always a side character and stuff, and he's thin.
We're going to figure it out after, and you're going to flash it on the screen. I'm going to make it 31 minutes better.
Okay, that's actually fine. But anyway, he's one of those guys that was always rubbing his temples like this. Even though he didn't do anything on set and just made all the fucking money. The guy that would sit there and open up his MacBook and then make a couple demands, and then he would ignore everyone the entire time, and he's making 99% of the money. That guy, he would just sit there and rub his temples like this and just be like, I'm so fucking sick of my Mercedes. I'm thinking about going to BMW. He literally said that. He said that to me and another guy, and we were like, oh yeah. He's like, it's just. He goes, I gotta just change it. I gotta mix it up.
He goes,
sometimes.
which company was responsible for killing more Jews? Which company owned the ovens?
There's something about making that much money and being in LA that you just turn into maybe the most miserable person.
No, you really do. You really do.
Because you walk around, you go, I make $12,000 a day no matter what.
I have a beautiful life everyone dreams of. I was given it because my name's Jewy Jewison. Sorry. I have a beautiful life I was given because I was born into it and was walked into Ivy League colleges.
I run 7 shows that are the equivalent of patty cake on TV.
I ruined
I have a show called 1-2 Buckle My Shoe.
And what do you do on the show? I walk around the set and I hold the bridge of my nose like this and I go,
I
have to up my Prozac.
My job is, so I have a very complicated job. You know how it costs $400 million to make female Hulk? It's because I get 75% of that. I'm doing intense money laundering, and I'm ruining America while I'm doing it. Yeah, but my wife's a fucking goddamn bitch.
All those guys have the like the most sterile homes too.
Yeah.
No, I used to sell home security to those people.
They
and
live in those homes where it's a big box home.
It's concrete.
5 stories, concrete, and there's glass in the living room. Like they live in a human aquarium. They want to make sure all the poor people can see them, have a good time and a good life.
They want to live like a lizard.
Yeah, and they go, "Oh, you watching the Super Bowl with me?" And then they turn their blinds and they flip off a family of homeless people. They look like they're vegan hitmen. Like they sleep on like a blue bottle coffee bench. I hate them all. They're slowly ruining like Echo Park and stuff. Every house popping up is one of those now.
They knock them down.
They're not
and
that
they
level
build up
of these people live in like the Hollywood Hills and shit, but yeah.
They all. You're right. Though they build a terrarium for themselves.
Yes,
with
they
like a
build-
big red light, and they sit on a stone like a lizard.
They want poor people to look at them like they're in the wealthy aquarium.
Yeah, and they clean out the window, and they go, "I'm not appreciating this, by the way. I'm wasting it."
You might as well throw the money right in the trash.
Might as well throw it in the toilet, which I am. I flushed down the toilet. I was given this life, enjoy striving, and then dying of cancer because you can't afford medication.
You know what's funny about those guys too? Those guys love to justify. They go, well, everybody else is miserable, but I make all the money, and so like I'd rather like make all the money and be miserable rather than be poor and be miserable. It's like, no, everybody else is actually a lot happier than you.
Yeah, they go, no. Me being a huge piece of shit has not ruined my life at all. That's how life is.
No, everybody lives in hell, not just me.
And they will walk up to you and like say the most like insane. Like you're a PA on the show, and the guy will literally be like, "Do you prefer Bugatti or Porsche? What do you think?" You're like, "I don't. I eat soup for breakfast." They're like, "Right."
I saw this guy get brought the wrong salad by a PA, and he was like, "I specifically said no avocado," and he put down his knife and fork where it was like audible, and he took off his glasses and went. He goes, "No, it's fine. It's fine." He goes, "I'll just take it off."
It's fine. I'll just go home and rape my maid tonight. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Juanita will die tomorrow.
It's literally just on top of the salad. Just take it off.
I know.
Just do that.
But that's not.
Once.
He didn't order.
Like, wait, you want him to take it back to the restaurant and they take it off?
He didn't order the salad to eat it and enjoy it. He ordered it for it to be wrong. He probably gave the guy wrong directions.
That's actually probably right.
He probably schemes. He probably plans his order based on what they can get wrong, and then he can rub his eyes and be like,
Yeah.
God, my life is perfect. Fuck. Damn it. No, it's actually
shooting
like
his own head like a stress ball.
Yeah, no, I mean when I sold security to these people after like 3 months, every day in the Hollywood Hills, you were kind of like, oh, it's all. You realize it's all fake because every single woman is like you meet her and
They're miserable.
There's these tiny little dog women that have like had all the fucking blood sucked out of their bodies.
That's why they live at the top of these mountains where, like, if they order food, it takes the delivery driver 45 minutes to get there with this never-ending, windy, like, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride drive. And you go, but you're rich. Like, why do you have such an annoying, like, don't you get annoyed having to drive down this hill all the time? But it's like, you can tell because they're so dead inside. They're like, I need a cartoon-style drive home. I like my drive home to be wacky.
They're like villains. They have to live in the mountains. Like creep, like the Grinch.
Their family doesn't speak. The kids hate them, and they're like, yeah, but at least every time I drive home, I could drive right off this cliff.
It makes them feel powerful.
Yeah, and they're like, I just need to. My goal is to pay a Mexican guy $15 to get me a fork and drive it to my house, and it ruins his day. Takes 4 hours.
They're the type of people, they order Mexican food and then they scream at their assistant. They go, "There's bread in this."
Beans? What is this shit?
I said no carbs, you fucking piece of shit. I'll fucking kill you. And then they tweet about how MAGA people are out of their fucking mind and cutting heads off.
Meanwhile, they have the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood flamethrower.
Yeah.
You're just right to Jorge's head. Because he brought the wrong smoothie.
Yeah. I'll show you, Berea.
I used to think, by the way, all those ladies, like, especially when I moved to LA, I'd never seen someone with plastic surgery. Ever.
Yeah. The only plastic surgery we saw growing up was when a lady got eaten by a dog or something.
Yeah.
And like
When the dog shit her out.
the dog shit her out, and they had to sew her back up.
On like Oprah.
That was the lady. We did know a lady who got her head chopped off in like a wood press in
Yeah.
high school, and she had Chubbs Peterson's hand walking
Oh
around.
yeah. No, you guys probably like saw like Shark Tale and then came here and you're like, everyone looks like in Shark Tale.
Why does everybody look like Geppetto in Del Toro?
Dude, do you remember
Pinocchio?
that? Do you remember that guy in woodshop class? He had Huntington's disease, the one where like it's a.
That guy had Huntington's?
It's like, isn't it the disease where if you find out you have it, you die when you're like 22 or something?
Something
and
like that.
It's
There's
like a
some time
50% transfer
Yeah, you
to your
get it.
kid.
You get it. You look like Olivia Wilde for 5 years, and then you die like at 27. Yeah.
That guy cut off both of his thumbs at once somehow.
Yeah, that guy had Huntington's?
He was doing one of those things.
The table saw.
Oh, right.
Table saw.
His thumbs like this.
Yeah, no, he literally, I asked somebody who was there, he
He
literally,
went through both of them.
no, I asked somebody who was there, I was like, how do you do it? He's like, dude, I swear to God, he literally just put his thumb into the blade. Like, it looked like he cut it off on purpose.
But why is he pushing it with his thumbs overlapped
Yeah,
behind
he literally,
them?
they were overlapped and he pushed them both into the blade.
What I never understood is you would stop once one gets cut off.
No,
You
he
wouldn't
went-
go through one
Dude,
and then the
he
other.
almost went through his chest. He almost kept going.
Kept going.
Like it was a Bond torture
Because,
device.
well, this is more painful than usual.
That guy also, he was in my grade, and that guy, first of all,
Probably dead now.
he's definitely dead. He
Yeah,
looked like Timmy from South Park. The one with the, was it Timmy or Jimmy?
Yeah,
No, he looked like Jimmy, the one in the wheelchair.
Timmy.
Yeah, he looked like
Jimmy
that
was
one.
the cripple.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he
so
looked like
Timmy.
Timmy.
But he didn't have
Shine.
anything wrong with him, by the way. He just had a huge head.
Well, apparently he had Huntington's.
Well, I mean, but he wasn't like, you would see him, you go, oh, he has like a mental disability.
He was shaped like a human balloon on a string. That's what his body.
He looked
His
like
body
Mr. Mackey, actually.
Yeah, his body looked like you would walk through the zoo holding him by his feet as his head drifted behind you and above you. He is in my grade. It was after PE. I was in the hallway. I just walked out. They had these lockers, and they had these huge metal benches they would put on top of the lockers. They weighed, I swear to God, like fucking 400 pounds, something like that, like crazy. Like it took 5 guys to lift it up there. He had put his jacket up there. They had put the benches up because they were doing something in the lockers. He came in and he went to grab his jacket, and apparently he couldn't get it, and then he just like went like that. Corner of the bench went down on the fucking top of his head.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Cracked his fucking skull open.
Final Destination style
Final
accident.
Destination. I was like walking to class, and then like I walked back, and there was just blood all over the floor. Like I heard people screaming and shit. And he was just like holding his skull, like blood was seeping out of his. And then like 3 months later, he cut both of his thumbs off.
Good God.
It's the guys that like literally get crushed by vending machines and die because
Yeah.
their Snickers won't fall.
No, it's guys who are so retarded they become like Mr. Magoo, but like with dire consequences. There's no cute part where they're walking.